This is a short story by Laurie Colwin called An Old-Fashioned Story. She was born in New York and took her higher education at Baird and Columbia. The Rutgers had a son named Nelson, whom all the world called Nellie. The Leopolds had a daughter named Elizabeth. Marshall Rutger and Roger Leopold had been at college and law school together and courted wives who had been roommates at college. Nelson was 2 years Elizabeth's senior, and he was a model child in every way. Elizabeth, on the other hand, began her life as a rebellious, spunky, and passionate child, but she was extraordinarily pretty, and such children are never called difficult. They are called original. It was the ardent hope of these people that their children might be friends, and when they grew up would like each other well enough to marry. In order to ensure their happy future, the children were brought together. If Elizabeth looked about to misbehave, Eleanor Leopold placed her warm hand on Elizabeth's forearm and, with a little squeeze Elizabeth learned to dread, would say in tones of determined sweetness, "Darling, don't you want to see nice Nellie's chemistry set?" Elizabeth did not want to see it, or Nelson's stamp collection, or his perfect math papers, or the model city he had built with his erector set. As she grew older, she did not want to dance with Nelson at dancing class or go to his school reception. But she did these things. That warm pressure on her forearm was as effective as a slap, although her compliance was not gained only by squeezes and horrified looks. Elizabeth had begun to have a secret life. She hated Nelson, and she hated the Rutgers with a secret fury. While she was too young to wonder if this loathing included her parents, she felt that if they forced Nelson upon her and chose the Rutgers for their dearest friends, they must in some way be against her. At the same time, she realized that they were foolable to an amazing extent. If she smiled at Nelson, they were happy and considered her behavior impeccable. If she was rude, she spent weeks in pain, the pain of constant lectures. Thus she learned to turn a cheerful face while keeping the fires of her dislike properly banked. The fact of the matter was that an afternoon of Nelson's stamp collection was good for 2 afternoons hanging around the park with her real friends. Elizabeth's friend came down with measles, chickenpox, and mumps, but Elizabeth considered Nelson her childhood disease. As she got older, she began to feel that he had ruined her early years, but in her 20s she realized what an asset he had been. Without him, she would have never have learned to shield herself entirely from her parents. She learned from him how little it took to please. Nelson wrapped himself up warm when it was cold. He baked cookies for his mother's birthday. He played chess with his father. That it appeared sufficed, a very instructive lesson that was not lost on Elizabeth, who felt that beneath Nelson's clean, wavy hair lived a rat, a suck-up, a traitor to all children.